Welcome to the set of Thrive America. I'm your host, Brent Brooks. Today, we have a very special guest, President and founder of the Women's Automotive Connection, Miss Gail Dunn. Gail, thank you so much for being a guest here on Thrive America.
Brent, it's so great to be here and see you again.
All right, Gail, before we get started with your 5 to Thrive, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Well, my background is in automotive. I'm a former body shop manager at a major dealership and was doing that for 15 years. And during that process, I learned that women were often treated poorly and felt very, very vulnerable when they went in. So I decided that I could do it differently and hopefully help them.
Well, Gail, as you know, this is Thrive America, and we've asked you to prepare 5 success principles that you apply in your business that other business owners watching the show can apply to the fabric of their company so they can succeed and thrive in this economy and beyond. Your first principle that you mentioned here is don't be one of the sheep. Talk to us about what this means for you.
Well, I think in business and usual and the automotive industry especially, people for 50 years have been doing it the same way.
Yeah.
And following that model just isn't working because the public doesn't like it. So kind of taking yourself away from the flock and going down a different road and understanding that sometimes being the rebel and not going down the same road everybody else is going will find a different result at the end, and it's much more pleasing to the person you're trying to help.
Gotcha. All right, Gail, well, the next principle that you bring to us is get up and get out. What do you mean by this?
Well, today I think a lot of people are sitting behind computers trying to generate business. For me, it's get up and get out and go meet people. Meeting them face to face, doing the one-on-one, spending that hour learning about that person because they know 10,000 people, 5,000 of whom may be able to help you. So you're trying to understand what the principle is in that relationship and how that person is such a resource for you. And you'll never get to know that in a networking meeting. You're only going to get to know that if you sit down and talk with that person.
Well, Gail, I love your third principle here. Be creative.
Well, being creative means to find a different way to do things. There's not just one way. I guess I learned that in business when people would tell me no for a certain subject. I spent a year arguing with a general manager about a piece of equipment, and then I went and found somebody else to buy it for me. So that was being creative because he said he wouldn't. And in my business, it's a matter of finding that one place or that one person who can give you a better price, a better deal, a better way of treating, a better attitude. Well, I realized that the one thing in the body shop, I did all of the work as far as mundane work of writing estimates and so forth, but actually being able to provide the help to the customer, sit down, have their expectations met, explaining the situation to them and having them understand what was going on was what I was really good at and what I really enjoyed. And I realized that if you take what you're good at and what you enjoy at the same time, why can't you make a business out of it?
Gail, your fourth principle is stay grounded. How can this principle help a business owner thrive?
Well, to me, being grounded means being sincere to myself and my own principles and not taking that persona that people will put upon you and decide that that's really who I am. I'm very real. I like being real, and I like to stay in that place in my life. So it's a matter of remaining true, sincere, keeping your integrity, and not putting on some sort of corporate or business face that you don't show to the rest of the world. I guess when you put it in colloquial terms, what you see is what you get.
All right, Gail, your final principle here is cherish the people around you. Talk to us about this principle.
Well, I think when I'm talking about cherishing the people around you, we're talking about friends and family and clients and coworkers. Everybody in your sphere is important to you. They're there to support you, but more importantly, you're there to support them. And if that works on a two-way street on a daily basis, it builds something that money can't buy. And I guess we're all interested in making more money, but part of it is building the relationships with clients, with friends, with family that says, I feel important, I feel they're important, and there's nothing we can't do.
Gail, one question I'd like to ask all my guests is, what personal advice can you give us so that we can take what we're trying to do here to the next level?
Well, I think, the hardest job you have is convincing people that the media, the video that you do is important to them. I learned that last year, and you and I worked together on a couple, and to me, it's a way to get your message across to people when you can't always be in front of them. And I can sit here and talk with you today, and people can hear that, and they can understand who I am because they can actually see me and in some ways interact with me. You can't do that on paper. You can't do that by an email. So I think for you, if you could convince all of them of how important what you're doing would be for them, they'd be clamoring for your help.
All right, Gail, before we set you free here, tell us a little bit more about the Women's Automotive Connection and what's a really easy way for people to contact you?
Well, the business is pretty broad. We can do anything from buying and selling cars for people to finding the great, honest mechanic in your neighborhood, to getting you a good price on tires, to helping you negotiate with the insurance company on a collision. So, pretty much it covers the gamut. But it's also a matter of understanding that the whole principle behind the business is to save you money. There are fees involved, but I've always said that if I can't save you more money than I'm charging you, then I'm not doing my job. And the easiest way to find me is to go online to www.womensautomotiveconnection.com, or just give me a call if you like, 770-722-5211.
Well, Gail, thanks so much for coming to the set today, and much success on your business, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, Brent, this was great. I really enjoyed it.
And we thank you for tuning in today, and we hope our show has been beneficial for you, and we hope you take what Gail has shared with us today and apply it to the fabric of your business. We'll see you next time here on Thrive America.